early, I figured I'd try out a different game that I haven't done before. And so here we have Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, because I like to start my series from the start unless they're ridiculously long. And this one's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. Anyway, probably just going to stream for an hour, but this is mainly because I had to cut my Lobotomy Corporation stream short. I figured I should stream something else. Anyway, so I have heard the world building in this series is really neat. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Music turns off whenever I sit here and tab off the screen to look at the stream, though. Anyway. Let's do hard. Daddy's really late. I even got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. And Shara's gone traveling around the kingdom on some kind of training. I'm so bored, maybe I'll just practice with my staff before dinner, a bit more before dinner. I'm home. Well, hey, I'm home, but... Daddy! Sorry to have kept you waiting, Estelle. Did you take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run into any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though, I brought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? I like pretty clothes, but they just get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? So she doesn't like jewelry. Oh, you're a sharp one. Now why don't you come have a look? What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? What? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss or he'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? Looks kind of dead if you ask me. I've treated his wound, so he should be in a stable condition. In the meantime, however, we need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed, so if you wouldn't mind heating a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. He sure sleeps soundly. And he almost looks the same age as me. This is the first time I've ever seen black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair, and a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how about you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, who is this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why did he bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? No, illegitimate child or something? Did he betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kinds of words? No doubt from Sherazard, that's it. No doubt from Sherazard, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, the girl's gonna get me into trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business, and I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. Where am I? So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please just try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why? Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? That is a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just work out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey! You sure are shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is just going to make it take longer for your body to heal. And just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember telling me that I have a daughter your age? Now that you mention it... Wait a minute. Don't try to change this up. Ow! Quit yelling! Alright already. But you jumping on me like that isn't going to make me heal any faster, either. I don't want to hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just going to make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind. Just forget it. As an order of advice, it would be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Estelle... Okay. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name. You know, that thing people call you? I told you mine already, so don't you think it would be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? It seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now only served to your detriment. Fine. My name is... Okay, so opening theme of the game. Nice panning scenery shots. Yeah, looks interesting so far. I should not tab out while it's in the middle of the cutscene. I'm guessing that's Estelle, given that she said she used a staff. Okay. This seems a fairly upbeat theme. Because of all the in-setting dialogue. Like, it's already thrown Bracer at me, and I have no idea what that's talking about. Every quest these... Yeah, I've heard that it's got some crazy world building. But that means it's got a massive amount of dialogue to read too, so... Doesn't every RPG? I've seen a lot of RPGs that have hidden quests. It's kind of what makes them fun, is everybody's experience is slightly different. Unless they're following a walkthrough. Ugh, it's so bright in here. Ugh. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. Ah, guess that's a no. Well, I guess I better get myself ready then too. Nice harmonica playing. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. I hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you starting to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, what with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age, and I'm hardly a man. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I am clearly the woman of this house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one is my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. Sounds pretentious. I wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff, like reading and music. No girl is just going to be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about hobbies for now. Now, for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle! Joshua! Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay. Stragus. Is that his name? Okay. I'm on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. Well, make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right, it'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. Once we're finished, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. In other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. Well, I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you, too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we've mastered the skills we've been learning in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck on a ton of extra homework? Yeah, no, feels fairly retro, but that's a neat feel to a game. And its pixels, it feels retro, but a bit more detailed than the older style of animation. Less 2D, as it were, for the 3D backgrounds. And I'll have to see whether the characters have really complex designs or not. Crap! Totally forgot. Now you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over optimistic personality? Hey, you're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Shara's going to be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Ron-style scallop fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? Well, what's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle. Or our stomach. You're right. I just wanted to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelet. No need for anything fancy, but try to make something edible. How rude, but I can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods Store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One copy of Liberal News from the General Goods Store. 500 Mira. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright. Thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Scheherazade my regard. Scheherazade my regards. Okay. And I can just camp immediately. So, what I've been able to gather so far is that bracers are some sort of, I'm guessing, mix between bodyguards and adventurer type people. They are protectors. Bracing or something. Oh, there's an exit out here. Okay. First thing you do in any RPG is check what's in the house. Oh, what's this? Ah, I can rest. I can also rest here. Okay. Nothing in the house. Got it. Can I talk with you again? Yep. By the way, Dad, is it going to be alright if you stay home like this instead of going to the guild today? You haven't been there for a couple days now. Unfortunately, I have a lot of paperwork to sort out. But don't you worry, I'm carrying a big enough workload that the guild's not likely to fire me anytime soon. That's not exactly the most convincing thing I've heard come out of your mouth. Actually, wait, you said there's a lot of dialogue in this one, so... If the NPC's dialogue changes every time you accept a quest, that's really different from most RPGs where a standard NPC gets like 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. Okay, signs. My house is to the west. Roland, 49 Selk. Garoon Gate, 259 Selk. Okay. Pretty sure I'm supposed to be going this way. Looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. We just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we'd have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Dang. Point still holds, though. If every NPC has dialogue so often, that's... Yeah, I can see it being a nightmare to localize. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracers Guild over there. Then. Okay. So to test what that means, let's go back and see if Dad has any different dialogue at the house. Nope. Okay, so it's not quite that simple. Anyway, I should probably try and figure out what the frick I'm doing before I head into the quest area. Although it's probably designed to teach me what I'm supposed to be doing, but... Roland City is in the opposite direction. You're not sleepwalking again, are you? How about you just be quiet and keep your comments to yourself? Yeah, that's a really impressive amount of time. Even more impressive depending on how large each of the teams working on the localization was. But that was why I was interested in it, was I heard it had excellent world building. Orbital Factory. I'm on my way over to the Forest of Mistwell to the south of here for work. There was a merchant from Bose who came here to buy lumber. I need to get enough ready for the order I received. So that's the Bracer Guild. Kit. Estelle and Joshua. Good morning, Uni. Aren't Luke and Pat with you today? They were here just a minute ago. The two of them suddenly took off and went somewhere. Okay. Ah. Hotel Roland. Aye. Are you here to spend the night? Vern, it's us, don't you remember? Ha, I know, I was just joking. I was practicing my greeting just now. Oh, really? Did you ever notice that Vern teases people with a straight face while being courteous at this time? That's probably because he can. Anybody up in this room? You know, Estelle, if you pass your exam, you'll be the second female bracer here in Bolin after Sherazard. Oh, and good luck to you, Joshua. I am not actually sure how to rotate my camera yet. Oh, it's the mouse wheel. The weather is so wonderful and revitalizing today. I have this strange feeling that something good is going to happen. Look what the cat dragged in. Estelle, Joshua, how have you been? Good morning, Mr. Fate. Good morning, sir. How's your father, Cassius? Is he doing well? Yep, he's doing so well, he might even surprise you. I don't think there's anyone his age who's in such good shape. Haha, is that so? My daughter really wanted to see him, but he hasn't shown his face around here in a while. Could you give him a message for me? Tell him that Fate says he'd like to talk about the old days sometime. Nope, I haven't bound my keys at the startup menu. Hey, Joshua. How does Mr. Fate know Dad so well again? I know they're friends and all, but I've heard they were battle buddies during their days in the Royal Army. Oh yeah, that's right. So I didn't realize that was something I should do. Let's see here. Looks like my husband's gone to work. I better do the housework and head out to take care of the shopping. Farming, mining, and timber. These are the three major industries here in Roland. It's no exaggeration to say that these industries are what support Roland economically. The timber industry, which grows forest and in turn uses the trees as a resource, began at Queen Alicia's behest. My daddy's job is digging holes, and he finds lots of pretty rocks inside. He says they're called septium. My husband works in the Malga mine to the north of here. He left here at the crack of dawn. Sometimes he doesn't even come home for days on end. Ah, that girl is so cute. I've got to be courageous and try to talk to her. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Estelle and Joshua. Did the two of you really become bracers? What? How did you know? That's because working in the media is my future goal. I'm going to join the Liberal News Service and work hard as a reporter. Don't take my information lightly either. Oh, sure thing. My gut feeling says that the two of you are going to be in the tabloids. Haha, well, thanks. Isn't it romantic that you two lovers are bracers who stand for justice? I have this feeling that juicy drama is about to unfold. And let me guess, tsundere. Lovers? Joshua and I aren't lovers. We're family. You really don't understand anything, Estelle. Joshua was adopted, and things could go either way in the future, right? Plus, leaving it at that would surely please the readers. Readers? Anyway, I'm looking forward to both of you, in more ways than one. Okay. Not a super embarrassed reaction there. Cough, cough. Unbelievable. My husband knocked over his bookshelves again. The room is now so dusty I can't go inside. Glory to the Kingdom, Compendium of Ornament Technology, Guide to the Roland Region, the Septian Church, and the Bracers Guild. I wonder where that book I just bought for the other day went. Looks like I'm going to have to put these books in order. That boy. Where could Luke have gone? He took off without a bite of breakfast. Okay. So, I should save. Anybody back here? It's almost time to start training, Estelle. Let's over to the guild house on the South Avenue. All right. So I can't leave the town yet. Take me with you. I'm the one who told you about the place to begin with. If you want to go with me, you're going to have to catch me first. I'm the one who discovered it. Okay. Mr. Paddington. Yeah. That does not sound too surprising. Before standardized education system was made, the one that we use normally today, it was similar in that everybody either just got trained by the people around them, or they all had this one place they go to every once in a while to get taught the basics of a bunch of different things. See what they were skilled in. I know that voice from somewhere. Ho ho ho, what have we got here? Cassius's naughty daughter and clever son. Just when I thought you hadn't been around in a while, you show up all grown up. Are you here every day, Mr. Paddington? This place has become somewhat of a new home for me. I intend to spend the remainder of my days guarding this clock. There's a ladder that goes up to the observation deck. What's wrong, Estelle? Something on your mind? It's nothing, really. How about we climb up to the observation deck? Sure, I guess. Fear of heights, I guess. I'm just on my way over to the Forest of Mistwell to the south of here for work. There was a merchant from Bose who came to buy lumber. I didn't have to get the order I received. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Ina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. No idea what BP is, but I'll figure that out, I'm sure. Sherazard's waiting for me upstairs. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Wish I could knew tarot cards so I could interpret that myself. Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured why not? I'm ready to get the show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today. Every way I can think of to make sure that that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. What, Joshua? Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Cher, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now, that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, I'm making sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. What would you like to know about Ornaments? Ornaments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure, the type of quartz or processed septium installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, the devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. About bracers. Bracers are investigative and combative specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. So, as right, defenders. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, and finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Zemurian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop ornaments. Ornament technology has also become a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with the neighboring nations. So we've got Ron, Granil, Roland, Bose, and I don't see Liberal on there. Or are those just cities? Okay, those are probably just cities. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. So air supremacy. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. That's all. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Okay. So, crap, that sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh, please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Okay. Retrieval. Okay. Check regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. And all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We will be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its service. He is graciously taking time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your Ornaments and Synthesize Quartz in order to use Orbital Arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky operation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbital Factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. So what is it you would like to know about Ornaments? Ornaments are mechanical devices which can exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. Okay, I've already had this explanation. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle ornaments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each ornament is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each other. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots can be opened at an Orbital Factory like this. It'll take a fair amount in Sepith to do, too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So as you would like to know about Orbital Arts, simply put, Orbital Arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle ornaments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced using orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since Orbital Arts can be a mouthful, they are universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have called them that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized. Ornaments are also set up so that once particular quartz is installed in a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, you have to install a quartz with a water element value. In reality, ornaments are much more complex than what I've described, but I think that this information should suffice for now. So what is it you would like to know about quartz? Quartz are circuits made from Sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. How you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. That being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. Sepith. Sepith are fragments of septium, which are dropped by monsters. They are divided in 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage. Okay. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and open Ornament slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. That's everything. Looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, let's have you both try to use the service here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. With this amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training you will not be able to use this service. Okay. Good work so far. Okay. So I've got to synthesize quartz. Okay. So synthesize 1 attack, 1 time. Let's just synthesize everything just in case. And for you, I'll do attack. And for you, time. Speeds up the flow of time. Emits a time-shaking pulse. Yep. So, gotta focus on... Makes character builds more of a thing you have to worry about, I'm guessing. Firebolt. It's a flaming ball of fire. Oh, I see. And they all have different abilities. Drops a large boulder on the enemies. Tears and shreds an enemy with... Oh, okay. I have to... It's meant to be after. Okay. Alright, looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now, install a quartz into your orbment so you can use both recovery and attack arts. Okay. So, healing and water. Okay, so at the moment I'm going to stick with that, but the only one that has 2 abilities. Okay. Okay, so I have to... Do I need to slot in Aqua? Looks like you've got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information. I missed some of that. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your Ornaments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader the range of choices you have. Since each EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all up early on. Now I want you to use this Cepheth and open a slot on each of your Ornaments. Go ahead and decide which slot you're going to open. So, let's open slot 2. Same with you. Oh, I don't have enough. Oh, okay. You can go to Memo and then Magic to see the list of spells. Cool. Good work on opening a slot, Joshua. Since your central slot is limited to a certain elemental, it would be best to increase your Orbital's number of open slots early on. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on for what you've both been waiting for, the Qualification Test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Haha. Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild. And humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua! All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect you to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer's notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine adios. No, oh, divine ideos. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such a wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. Ah, I can already feel this nostalgia. All these horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll ever be able to even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that while I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. But there's an extra I after the D. This is supposed to be a test, so how about both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk this test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Roland's sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest, which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real living, breeding monsters down there. So if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Tier Bomb 3 and a monster guide. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? Oh, okay. It's pronounced differently between countries. Interesting. Logical, though. That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure to treat it as such. Rollant. So then, yep, I was right. You use a staff. What about you? Twin sword. No, dagger is a user. Okay. And here are the 3 books. I can slot in a second one for you, so. Let's do wind. Actually, let's see if we can get any more magic out of that first. Okay, so some of them need time. Okay. So nothing I can do there at the moment. Okay. There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging any further battles. Orbital charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. Okay. Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Cannot be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. That sounds normal. Unusual for an old school RPG, but normal for modern. Who attacks first? So, okay. They didn't attack me at all. All-rounder slots require a lot of Sepheth. Okay. So if I want to be cheap, go with specific elements. But if I want options, it's going to require money or Sepith. Okay. Not much here. I should probably increase your EP again, because you look like you were running a bit low. For whatever reason. Not sure why your EP bar started out lower than hers, but... Okay, flies. Here comes some more! Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. So it can be recovered by using energy potions. Arts are effective against foes. Aqua Bleed, you. Airstrike. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Can attack it from behind. Okay. Craft. Dual strike. Oh, they can actually attack me now. You're dead. Craft.